Alright, so it is working. Sign up and sign in both working. However, if you're using the actual device, obviously you cannot access the localhost, so there will be an issue. Alright, so let me show you how you could do it. First thing you want to do is use this npm package called local tunnel. npm local tunnel. Alright, so you can see here local tunnel exposes your local host to the world by for easy testing and sharing. Okay, so that's simple as that. Expose your local host to the world. Alright, so what you have to do is you have to install localhost. You can install globally. Alright, so let's run this command. So let me open a new tab, come here and install it globally. Okay, I have to use sudo once it is installed globally. You can check out the list of global packages you have in your computer as well. You can run this command to check. You can say I have these commands installed globally and local tunnel is there. Alright, so once you have that, all you have to do is this one, local tunnel lt -- port, and which port you want to expose to the whole world. Your localhost, that is 8000. Our server is running on 8000, so all we have to do is run this command lt -- port and give the port name, and what that will do is that will give you the URL, temporary URL, where you can access your server. Alright, so we have it running on the localhost 8000. Make sure it is running. Alright, so make sure it is running, and then you can come to another terminal, and all you have to do is local tunnel -- let me check here, local tunnel port -- port, and then you type the port number 8000. That's where our server is running, and you hit enter, and that will give you this unique URL. Now on this URL, your localhost, your server is accessible on the internet. Okay, how cool is that? So let's copy that, make sure it is running, right? So next time you stop your server, Control C and stop this one, that will not be accessible. Okay, it is for the temporary use only. So next time when you do the same thing, you might have your server running and you might want to access it like this on your device. That time it will be different. All right, so that time again you have to come back and make this change. Okay, so that's important. Now let me try this and see what we get. Okay, so this is as same as accessing your localhost 8000. So let's click to continue, and you can see of course we don't have any route on that one, but if you go to /API, you see whatever data you see in your localhost is now accessible on the web. This is very, very cool. All right, so that's great. Now that also means we have to come here and make a change, right? Now we could make a change here, but it's better if we create a file. Let's create a config file so that we can put the URL there, so that we don't have to just manually update on each and every file. All right, so inside client folder, let me create a new file. Let's call it config.js, and here export cons, let's call it API equals to, paste this URL. Now obviously later you might have to change it. When you run that command again, it will change, so that time also make sure to come here and change it. And also you can use localhost, you know, if you running it locally, doesn't matter, you can still have this file. Now we can access this one API in your screens. Let's start from sign up. Let's import that. we need to destructure because it's not default export. Okay, so we need to import like destructure from. So we go one step up, get inside config, and we bring the API from there, and then instead of this hard-coded URL we just use API. Awesome. Now let me copy this and go to sign in as well, import on top, and then replace this with API. Perfect. Okay, now instead of localhost we are making request to this URL, this one /API. Let's make sure we have /API, that's important. Okay, so now we are making request to this endpoint. Now you can continue using the local device obviously, so let's give it a try with the local device, and then I will show you how you can use it on the actual your phone. So let me try another user, Ryan1. Okay, now sign in doesn't work obviously because we don't have this user. The error message at the moment, sign in. If there is error, we have to show some kind of error message. Alert, sign up failed, try again. Okay, and that is something you can also use in the sign up. I think we are getting the error message from the backend as well, so probably if you use that, that would be better. Okay, at the moment let's leave it like this. We'll look into this one. Let me just show you how you can actually register. So let me use Ryan1. Let's try to sign up. Okay, sign up failed. Sign up failed. Okay, sorry, my bad. It should be, so that gives us this URL. So it's similar to saying localhost 8000/API, but we still need to give the sign in endpoint, right? So we did do that. Let me just fix that up. So backticks, curly brace, $, so that's our variable there, /sign up. All right, so we need to have that sign up, and let's go to the sign in. Backticks, $/sign in. Awesome. So we got the sign in and sign up endpoint. We're making request. Now let's give it a try. Ryan1. Sign up successful. How good is that? You can see here we're using this URL, but it's still we have been able to sign up because this URL basically represent localhost. That is awesome. And we got the response. Now this is Ryan1, you can see, pretty cool. Now let's see how we can use this on the actual device. So let me screen record on my iPhone. All right, so let me just use this, or you could actually go and use this one as well. This one must have opened up on your browser. So I'm going to screen record on my phone. All right, so I'm going to take a photo, open my camera app, and this will open up in Expo. Okay, so this image looks too big, but obviously you can just change that. Okay, so that is sign in. Let me first try sign up. Now let me try another user, Ryan2 at. All right, so keep the same password, sign up. How good is that? Okay, sign up, at the moment. Now let's try login with this user. We have already created an account. Sign in successful. Great. Alright, so you can see this is how you can use the local tunnel to easily access your localhost on the web. And to stop this one, I can just use Ctrl+C, and that is it. Now if you go to the previous URL, if you go to this URL, it will not be accessible. You can see 404. Alright, so you can see I have used the localhost 8000 again, so I'm going to just continue with this one. But if you're using the actual device, of course you will use whatever URL you get from the local tunnel.